All right, welcome to the legendary League of Legends podcast.
Maybe do a take where you don't laugh saying the name of the show.
Really, you want me to do a take where I don't laugh saying the name of the show? It's just that ridiculous of a name, dude. Come on.
Okay.
So welcome to the legendary League of Legends podcast, a podcast I've just pulled out of my ass 4 days ago, and now we're gonna start talking about League of Legends and the LCS. I'm Nizzy or Anthony, and with me is
Matthew. Or Matt.
or Matt. All right. So topic one. Week one's over. How was it? What'd you think?
What did I think of the game quality, or was I surprised?
The show, the games.
I mean, the production value was fantastic.
As is
always is. That intro where he kept trying to remember it was just LCS actually was so funny.
Oh, yeah, that was a good one.
It was very good. I don't know if it beat Vedius and Medius doing the Sherlock Holmes thing, but the quality of the games was all actually like very high, I think. I mean,
I feel like a lot of people are going to disagree with you on that.
Okay, the ones that I cared about were high quality games.
So just the Cloud9 versus TL1, just that one.
Oh yeah, boy.
It's the only match you cared about all week.
Well, I liked beating 100 Thieves, and I liked watching TSM.
You know what? I like beating 100 Thieves too. I didn't like the second part.
I'm
real done with that curse. That curse can go somewhere else and leave me the fuck alone.
What did you think of the game quality?
I've seen a lot of people being like it felt really like brawly and kind of like they were just fighting each other rather than actually doing any macro sense. It seemed like TSM versus Clutch was a real good example of this, where TSM would just Aatrox was winning, they got a lead off that, and then they didn't do anything else.
I feel like in Fox's second game, they had a really good macro though. I mean, they pressured Dragon so early with Rush on Karthus, and they really like held up the objective pressure that whole game.
Trying to pull up the schedule so I can make sure that we're looking at.
Oh, I have a link.
I got him on it.
Okay. So that was their second game, which was against Golden Guardians. So maybe that's kind of just a fluke, because obviously he got actually bodied against Clutch Gaming game one on Karthus. But
well, the thing about with Karthus is like he's counterable. You and me have done this before in game where you just go take his blue buff, stop him from getting a blue buff, and he's behind and he cannot catch up.
Yeah. Well, wasn't it versus Clutch where game one he just like flashed the wall level 1 and killed him? Like,
I think so. I think that happened game one. Because I don't know. I was only half paying attention to this game.
We should probably pay more attention in the future.
We should probably pay more attention. It wasn't level 1. It was like early game, I think.
Yeah. But still, I mean, that just puts him so far behind.
Oh yeah, no.
Karthus.
Karthus is it's so important to scale on Karthus. Otherwise, you're just kind of useless, and you can do 200 damage to a team in a fight, and that's mostly it.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like if you're playing Karthus and it gets to the point where the casters are talking about whether or not you're dying in the right place, then maybe there's a small problem with the play.
Yeah, I don't.
Perhaps that you're dying too often if the position of your deaths is really becoming the crux of any argument to try and save you.
Yeah. There are times when dying is a good thing. Like if you're split pushing and you pull 5 members and your team gets a Drake and a turret and something for your death, then that's fine. It's whatever.
Or
it doesn't fucking matter.
Or if you go in the middle of them and you die and you just spam them with Qs while your Xayah and Corki poke them from afar. That's probably acceptable. But yeah. I think he ended the game with... How many deaths did he end the game with? 7 deaths. That's really not great.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, 5, 7, and 3. Technically, that's positive. However, I'm sure Rick Fox was not pleased.
Rick Fox was not pleased about a lot of things coming into this split.
That's true. Demonte looked really good that game.
Demonte was definitely looking good. Demonte was looking like a strong player.
505 at the end of that game. 348 CS. In 39 minutes. That's not bad at all for Demonte. What did you think? Tell me what you thought about the Optic games. This is something I want to hear your feedback on.
Oh, wait, hang on. Okay, that one. The Optic game. I don't know. Optic seemed like they just seemed strange to me. They were able to beat CLG, but it looks
Well,
like CLG has no idea how they want to play League of Legends right now. It looks like they have no idea what they want. What
CLG
they're doing.
looked really disparate as a team. I'm not sure that putting in Moon
No,
was
Moon was fine.
he was fine, but I don't know. I don't know how much practice they have together, but I mean, like
I mean,
CLG getting destroyed by the Academy team, that's really bad for CLG.
to be fair, it's the Academy team plus Crown, a world champion,
All right, but that was the game Crown was on Lissandra.
and he demolished.
I mean, he did okay. He went 2-1-11. Oh, that's actually really good. Okay. Oh, he had 11
Really
assists. That's
good.
my bad. No, you're right. He popped off. But I feel like most of that game was just really good team play compared to CLG. CLG just looks so split with Darshan not taking flash and then Power of Evil not really on a carry champion, but just trying to set up other players. It seemed like they were sort of in roles they weren't incredibly comfortable with as players, and maybe that's something they're trying to work on. But maybe the stage isn't the place to do that, or at some point you have to, obviously. But
So, what were the teams that came out 2-0? Okay, so we have Team Liquid, FlyQuest, and Clutch Gaming.
so Team Liquid, not a shock at all.
Not a
That's
shock. No.
that's exactly what I anticipated.
They're probably looking for that 18-0 season.
And I don't know if they can get 18-0, but I think that they're probably. I mean, they're definitely in playoffs, and they're probably champions, unless C9 or
they're in
TSM.
playoffs without trying. Like
Yeah,
by week 4, if they don't have 8 wins or at least 6 wins, I will be shocked.
no, they're smurfing on the rest of the league to be sure.
The,
But
the problem is TSM has done this before. They've done this for years, where they just demolish everyone because their individual skill of their players is really good, and then they just can't can't keep up. They don't know exactly how they're actually supposed to win a game because they're not up 5k gold at 15 minutes because they're just better.
That's fair. Clutch Gaming, not gonna lie to you, shocked to see them there. Obviously, I expected them to beat Free SM. However,
I mean, I had Fox at the bottom of my tier of my.
That's
tier
fair.
list.
I mean, I am actually surprised that because Clutch Gaming as a roster doesn't seem as strong as some of the other rosters. Like, sure they have Huni, sure they have Piglet, but in the past few splits, neither of those players in their previous performances in NA have really been instilling that much like confidence in their play. And like, but to see them come out and dominate in the way that they did, you know, like all jokes aside, like TSM actually looks decent this year. And for Clutch to beat them in a pretty convincing way really caught me off guard.
Their early game wasn't all that convincing because they were getting kind of played around, but I don't know if that was Broken Blade winning top lane and throwing off their whole early game plan, so they had to fall back on survive and don't lose, or if they actually.
That is what it felt like because at 16 minutes, all of their kills were on jungle and top. You know, so it felt like that early game shutting down Huni, especially on the Victor, especially shutting down that Lee Sin on Lyra early. That felt like it really sort of it hurt them, but I guess I mean they came back enough to win the game. So
they did, but like it was kind of off of one team fight where Akali got off. So what happens if TSM bans Akali? Like if they don't let them pick Akali?
Yeah, but then what happens if any other team bans Aatrox? You know, like does Broken Blade get to do this if he's?
Well, it wasn't even just Aatrox though. Is that they had a lot of control in the map too. But
that's true.
The
Canadian played his mind out on that Gragas. That Predator really came in.
He was playing pretty good with that guy. Yep.
Yeah. Except for the end when he died like 4 times in a row. But
I mean,
early game
they lost
the
fight and they had to start ending. Like,
well, is that the TSM law? You're the fan here, not me.
I mean, that's the game's law. Once you're losing the game and you're like,
once you lose one fight, you just run it down.
You need to start like You need to start trying shit. You need to just try to get a little desperate for some good kills.
I think, yeah, everyone should take notes on that. It's, once you lose one team fight, you run it down and die 4 times in a row without getting a
just like Tyler 1 used to.
Used to. Very fun.
What else surprised? Did we talk much about the Optic beating CLG with their academy team?
We didn't talk much about it, but we mentioned it, and honestly, what is there to say? Like,
I mean,
the last couple splits, CLG, like, obviously CLG is a team with huge history, but the last few splits, like, after they lost Afro, now that they've lost 2Heat, they're just, like, not the same team, right? No. They don't have that same sort of shot calling prowess. They don't have the same pressure. And I don't know, like, what's going on with them, but it frankly wasn't a surprise to me to see them lose so badly. Just because I haven't had faith in CLG in quite a while.
See, and that's why they're losing. They don't have any faith.
I guess. I mean, I guess if you ask Kobe. But
I don't. CLG has been in a very, very tough spot for like a very long time, like you said. But I just like, how do you fix this team? They have Stixay, who's a pretty decent player, but like, and Biofrost is doing good too. But they just dropped Huhi for.
Their bot lane doesn't seem like their problem though.
They dropped Huhi for Power of Evil, which should be an upgrade, but it really isn't working out. And then they can't like decide on a top laner. They keep swapping between Darshan and what's the other player's name?
I have no idea.
See, this is why they shouldn't pick him.
Well, that's bad. You shouldn't pick players just because I know them. That's just terrible advice, to be honest with you. However,
it's Fallen Bandit.
Oh yeah. Did he play this?
Yeah, no, he played Sunday.
Oh, he played Sunday?
Yeah.
Did he perform? Like, well, I mean? I mean, they lost, so, but... Oh, they were against Liquid, though, so that was just, like, gonna be an L.
Yeah.
But that's... I feel like right now...
It seemed like a lot of games were holding rather even, especially until laning phase. I think TSM's the only team I saw that had strong leads before that. TSM and C9 were the only teams I noticed that had leads before 15, before laning phase ended.
Yeah, but that's not surprising. Both those teams.
Yeah, Bjergsen's on one of those really teams. Like
Bjergsen's on one of those teams, and that other team has.
They have Sneaky.
Double
Lip
Jensen. Oh, C9, yeah, Licorice. Obviously,
Svenskeren.
Licorice has been playing really well. Yeah, I feel like even in the loss, C9 played pretty well. Like, I wasn't watching that game like really upset. I was like, well, they're just getting beat by TL, and that you can't really fault them for that. You know?
No, yeah, it's hard to beat the number 1 team in the league, but they did go further in Worlds. But losing Jensen just means like you're not beating them. You're
not beating them, especially because whether or not Niski's better than Jensen in the long run for the team, he just needs practice, right? Like, they went from a mid laner they had for years and had incredible synergy with, had practice with, to a guy who's brand new on the team. It's just going to take time to develop.
Yeah. All right, so let's move on to the next topic. It should be, how is the Jensen and Niski trade working out? I think TL
better for TL.
By like
better for TL mile. Right now. I mean, I think it's just a flat upgrade for the team. Jensen is an incredibly dominant player, and as long as he's not playing Echo in the playoffs against TSM, he's super consistent. So,
well, look, he's had a big problem of being able to beat Doublelift, and his strategy seems to be to join his team.
If you can't beat him, join him. Yep. Yeah. Now I won't need to press R on Echo against Doublelift, so I won't lose the game.
And my team won't grief me by putting a wall in between. Oh wait, I did that. Damn it. Everyone says TSM played that well, and I'm like, no, C9 played that wrong. They put a wall in between them and the ranged champion.
Yeah, that's not the best strategy. However, that's in the past, and we don't have to think about that. He's not on the team anymore.
No, we can just move on for that. So Niski actually looked pretty good. I thought he didn't look like he was having too many problems. He looked like he had enough skill to play the game. He looked pretty fine against Jensen. Wasn't destroying.
I thought he looked kind of bad against Jensen early. I don't know if it was just nerves, like first game of the season, which is understandable, right? Like, first time back in NA after a while, first time on the stage after a few months. Like, obviously there's going to be some adjustments, but new team, right? But you're playing the guy you replaced. There's a lot of pressure there. So he seemed a little weak early, but he kept himself composed enough that into the mid and late game he was still useful for C9. And then in the next game, he was just nuts. He was solo killing in lane. He was playing so well. But I don't know if that was Nizzy or Aatrox, you know. Even Nizzy said, right? He doesn't understand why teams aren't banning Aatrox on this patch. He's just busted.
Yeah, the Aatrox seems to be really prevalent. I think, does he have a... Yeah, it looks like he has 100% presence in Champ Select. So
that's not surprising at all.
No, it's not. I think him, Urgot, Akali, Lissandra, Rakan, and who's the last one? I guess Aurelia? Yeah, looks like Aurelia, Lucian. Those ones all I think have 100%.
Nizzy ended against 100 Thieves 6-0-4. 237 farm at 25 minutes. That's nuts. He ended 1-4-1 with 167. Like, he just got bodied that lane. Even like just from the beginning. And we can get into the teleport, but like we can get into the teleport later, but just on a pure matchup level, Nizzy appeared to be handling that really, really well. Which is impressive because he obviously has a lot of experience and is he's a skilled player, right? He's not terrible. Maybe he had a bad game, but Nizzy just dominated that one.
Yeah. So
although all of C9 did very well, but
so Nizzy's looking like he'll be okay, at least against the rest of the league. Maybe not TL. We'll see how he does against Bjergsen.
That's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for. I don't recall. I will check. But that's what I'm looking forward to. Next week they do not.
Yes,
next week they play CL.
Yes, they. Oh wait, that's the 9th. Sorry, you're right.
CLG and Golden Guardians next week.
Yeah, so the week after that they play TSM.
The week after February 9th. So that's what I'm looking forward to, is to see if Nizzy can put himself there. Because Bjergsen, I think, is probably, other than Jensen, it's him or Jensen, obviously, still at the number 1 mid spot.
Mm-hmm.
And if Nizzy wants to come in and challenge Jensen's legacy on the team and really push himself forward, he's going to have to, if not beat Jensen this split, at least beat Bjergsen. Yeah. And if they can't do that, then I think not only does it not look good for Nizzy, it doesn't look good for the team's playoff hopes, although maybe they can turn it around later, but, But I think he could probably beat anyone else. He might have trouble in lane against Crown, just because it's...
Yeah, Crown's another one you want to look at.
Yeah.
Alright, so next topic is... Who are you to 100 Thieves? Was it worth it?
Who did they lose?
Ryu. They dropped Ryu to put him in a coaching spot so that they could have Huhi.
I don't know. I'm tempted from the first week, the 0-2, just to be like, nope, obviously a downgrade, right? Like, they went from a playoff team to 0-2. I think only like 30-something% of teams in history who go 0-2 week 1 make it to playoffs. Obviously, if there's a team that could do that...
entire 30% is TSM, by the way, but keep going.
That's fair. But if this split, there's any team that could do that, I would imagine it's 100 Thieves. Right, like, obviously they underperform, but they have Afromu, right? An incredible voice. They have Someday, who's, when he shows up, he's really showing up. They have Bang, Anda, who I think it's a good team. I don't know what happened. Maybe there just wasn't enough practice. Maybe they weren't as comfortable on their picks. But
everyone was looking down, except for Bang. Everyone was kind of looking like they were underperforming.
Yeah, that's true. Even Afromu looked a little weak in there, but... At least Bang looked good. At least 100 Thieves fans have something, right?
It's like, well, we didn't waste any money on Bang, just everyone else.
Yeah, at least they didn't do anything else wrong, right?
Who's their jungler?
Anda,
yeah. I don't. Anda looks okay. I don't think he's anything special, is the issue.
But who else would they take, right?
It's like the Dardoch.
He's on Optic now.
Yeah, you try to get Dardoch. So yeah, Optic's looking like they're gonna keep.
But I think right now they have Fragus as their academy jungler. But
I have no idea who he is, and I really doubt that he's gonna be better than Anda. So.
I agree. Which is why I'm saying, you kind of have to keep Anda there. It's unfortunate that they lost Meteos. I think keeping Meteos might have been really good for them.
That whole debacle last summer made no sense. It's like, hey, why are we dropping Meteos and Cody Sun, two players who carried your asses to was it finals last year or semifinals?
It's at least deep into the playoffs.
I'm like, I don't understand how you drop those players.
No, me neither. It seemed like an extraordinarily poor choice at the time, but I mean, hopefully they have a plan. They have a vision of what they want their team to be.
I mean,
I
they
guess it's
went
just
0-2.
actualizing it.
Like, I don't know if they're gonna be able to get up. They need to either start stabilizing their top and their mid, and then feeding bot lane for Bang to become their carry. But Bang wasn't even a carry when he was on SKT. He was always trying to be kind of a rock.
Yeah, but I mean, to be fair, on SKT they had Faker.
Yeah, I know.
Right?
Like,
I'm sure Bang could carry if they put it in his hands.
Cody Sun was doing that though. Cody Sun carried them for the first 2/3 of the summer split.
I'm aware, however.
Like I don't like. They screwed themselves with that decision last summer by alienating Cody Sun.
Yeah, that wasn't. I didn't really understand that, and I mean, like, I get it. If you can get Bang, I guess you get Bang, right? Like,
yeah, if somebody offers you Bang, you're like, yeah, let's just take that. But then they would have been running Ricard because Cody Sun was not re-signing with them.
yeah. I don't know. Is Cody Sun in the league right now?
He's on somebody's.
Oh, he's Clutch
team.
Academy.
Yeah.
He's Clutch Academy. Wow. Okay. That's surprising. That's unfortunate. I don't know. I mean, aside from the actually like throwing the game teleport who he had, he just looked weak, right? Like, he didn't look atrocious. He just looked not especially good.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And
he didn't look like he was going to contend.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't know how he's going to stack up once he starts playing, like... Yeah, I don't know. It looks rough for 100 Thieves this split, but...
It's a bad start, and they've really needed a good start, especially against TSM, who they will be fighting for playoff spots.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
All right. Do we want to go on to the next topic?
Your call. It's your show. I'm just the lowly co-host.
Okay. The other imports. Who's looking out? Do we want to start off with Bang? Yeah, let's start off with Bang because we were just talking about it. Bang looks great.
Sure.
Bang looks like he's
Bang
really,
looks fantastic.
really, really like fine here. Apparently his English is really good. Bang doesn't seem to be an issue.
I mean,
yeah.
in the loss to C9, he ended the game 1-0-1 and only down about 12 farm, 15 farm to Sneaky, right? And that's the game where his jungler's 1-5, his mid's 1-4, his support's 0-3. If he's able to take Kai'Sa, and then even as his team collapses around him, fails to get objectives, keeps dying, just can't keep up in team fights, and he still manages to stay basically even in farm and not die, I mean, that looks like a success for Bang. That looks like the Bang signing was a good thing, right?
All right, so we're in agreement. Bang is a very, very good.
Yeah. Wait, hold on. I want to look up how he did against TSM. I'm looking at the stats on the quick.
Who else did I
I
have?
like that you're not talking. Vamp for time, you coward.
I'm working on. Okay, I also had Broken Blade and Crown that we could talk about.
Oh, well, Bang ended his game against TSM 0-1-4 to Sven's 7-1-3, but he was up farm, and again, he had a 4-death top laner, a 4-death support. I mean,
he's looking solid, and he's looking like he can keep up even when his team's losing, which will probably
if they can play. I feel like if they can play around him and sort of stem the bleeding coming from the top side of their map, hopefully they'll be able to stabilize.
Yeah.
But all right, who's next? Crown or Broken Blade?
Let's go with Broken Blade. Broken Blade, new top laner for TSM. Very massive question mark everyone's had on TSM's roster. Looked really good. He looked really good when he started. Playing. He had a really good early game against what was the champion he was playing against on
Sion against.
He's playing against.
Is
Sion?
Aatrox against Clutch? So is Sion against 100 Thieves?
Okay. No, he was yeah. Okay, got you.
Yeah, he's on Sion.
No,
he ended that game 3-1-5 on Sion.
He looked like he could entirely just keep up in lane on Sion, like he's a tank. It's not. That's not the hardest
into Victor
thing to do.
too.
Yeah,
no, it's not.
That's
but
a
into Victor,
lane.
he won lane. He ended lane up in farm. He ended lane up in kills and assists, and he looked really strong on the Aatrox early game, like very early game. But he sort of fell off a little bit. I'm not sure if that's a him problem though, or just like a larger the team sort of fell off
It looked
in the
like
game against
the team
CG,
had no idea how to transfer their lead at that moment, and they kind of
which is
fell for it.
yeah, that's fair. But I mean, he looks solid. We'll see if he can keep it up, obviously. But I mean, he was able to play Aatrox effectively, and I know some people were saying after the first Sion game, right? Like, yeah, he did well on Sion, but Sion's a tank. It's not like he was playing this incredibly difficult
He had a
champion.
bunch of really good charges too.
He did. He had a lot of great setups. He had a lot of great knockups. He had a lot of great slows. He really did what the team needed him to do. When he played on Aatrox, he showed the mechanical proficiency to get the kills in lane, to be up in farm, to do all those things. But he didn't really show us that he could transition that early game power, those early game mechanics, into the mid and late game. And I think that's something we need to look forward, from him, look to see from him moving forward, to see if in his next games against FlyQuest, and FlyQuest and Echo Fox, if he can transition those early leads, if he gets them, or if they just keep putting him on tanks and having him be that sort of standard rock, and maybe letting Sven carry, like in the first game when he had 7 kills, right, as opposed to the second game where I think he ended 0-2.
The second game, it looked like TSM got a lead topside and didn't know how to bring that to the rest of the map, or let it be its own thing and let the rest of the map create its own pressure.
Do you think that's because of the champions they were on, or just because of the larger game state, the sort of failure of the larger?
I think it was
game?
a team. It was just a straight up team issue. I don't think they didn't have the champions to do it. I think they just didn't they didn't know how to do it at the moment. Like they got there, they got up 5K, they hit the end of landing phase, and like, cool, we hit mid game.
Yeah, and then Demonte went 6-0 and Demonte went 6-0-3 on Akali.
Yeah, and just Demonte runs through the team like a blender, and everyone's dead. Just
just demolishes them. A 3-0-7 Piglet on Ezreal. That's going to do some damage to your team.
Yeah.
And Huni went. It looks like flat AP that game on Victor, so that's just going to hurt, you know. I actually didn't notice that during the game. He went Morello Lichbane. Huh. Okay.
All right. Next up, Crown. Crown looked great.
Crown looked really good.
Crown looked fantastic. Problems.
Yeah, I think he's going to be able to keep that up. I think Crown and Bjergsen are probably the 2 mid laners that can challenge Jensen and TL right now. I don't know about the rest of Optic. I don't know if they're going to keep the Academy lineup, if they're going to go for the sort of what were the LCS players, but what?
I think they're going to keep swapping them around. I think Meteos and Dardark are going to be they're trying to make them basically interchangeable to whatever they think is.
How do you think Meteos feels about that?
I think at the moment, I think Meteos is fine with him being swapped out because of team cohesion.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think him being on the Academy team the whole split is going to do well for him in a mental way. Because it
Me either, but I also don't know that it would do well for Optic.
I don't. It's hard to say if Meteos or Dardark should be the one playing. Like, I guess if they want to play.
Well, we haven't seen Crown Meteos synergy yet. We haven't seen Meteos on Optic, so we can't really.
Yeah, if they want to play more of a supportive jungler role, like a more, I don't know, laid back kind of jungler, they would probably put in Meteos. But if you want to play a more aggro jungler, you're definitely going to put in Dardark, because Dardark likes to do stupid shit and almost die for it.
Yeah, I mean, yes, that's very true. I don't know. I mean, I'm a huge Meteos fan, and I just love to see the man play. But I mean, Crown looked fine, and I would be shocked if switching the jungler affected that, right? Like,
yeah, I don't think it'll matter.
He just seemed to be able to control himself, and I'm very excited to see him play this sort of other top contender mid laners in NA, and see him really carve out a spot for himself in North America. Like, obviously on an international level. He's incredibly accomplished. He's crazy good at what he does. I just want to see him bring that dominance here and sort of make Optic. I think if Optic is a relevant team, it's really going to be off his back, right? Especially, I mean, this split anyway.
I mean, he played against Power of Evil and Pobelter, who I wouldn't say are the best, but Pobelter's kind of always been like the farm.
Pobelter's not bad though.
He kind of just holds the lane and kind of just keeps it in there.
Yeah, I mean, Pobelter's definitely not a bad player.
But he's never been one to win a lane outright like that.
Fair enough.
Like that.
Well,
There's
who
a
they
reason
play?
they stuck him on Malzahar
Well,
duty at MSI
next week
last
they
year.
get him. They're getting Demonte, which would be a good matchup, especially because Demonte didn't die in either of the games this week.
Oh my god, he didn't die?
No, he went
Wow.
503 on Galio, 605, 606 on Akali or something.
Oh, they gave him Galio, those fools.
Yeah, Galio in game 1, and then Akali against TSM, and I don't think he died in either one of those games. So
I think
Demonte's
that's
actually
why they went 2-0.
That's probably true. But Demonte's looking strong. I want to see how he does in the crown. And then he's against Froggen on Echo Fox. And again, Froggen, not really one of the contending top tier mids, but definitely not a terrible player, right? And then Sunday, February 10th, so in 2 weeks, Optic plays Team Liquid. And that's really the game I'm looking forward to for Crown. To see Crown up against Jensen, up against the definitive, sort of hands down right now, best team in the league. See what he can do from that mid lane to get his team an edge, and see if they can come out on top in that one. That's something I'm very much looking forward to. That week 3 looks stacked with games,
that week
by the
3
way.
looks really interesting.
That week 3 looks good. Yeah.
So, do we want to talk about Froggen, even though he's not necessarily an import per se? He's been here before. He was here the last time he was playing.
We can talk about Froggen.
So he's been looking kind of. I didn't notice much of him when he was playing. What team is he on? Is he on
he's on Golden Guardians, right?
Oh, he is on Golden Guardians.
He's on Echo Fox. So then he's not against them in a few weeks. I was griefing. Oh wait, yeah, he is.
What team is he on? God damn it, we should know this.
We should prepare next time. He's on Golden Guardians.
Okay. So he was part of the Golden Guardians 02, which actually I think is my next topic.
It is. I mean, that 02 is frankly, I want to say I'm surprised, but it seems like a really new team. I don't know how much time they had together in the preseason to really work on that cohesion. But, I mean, hopefully they're able to turn it around. I want to see Hodser succeed. I want to see Contracts succeed.
They just look like they have no idea how to put their team together. It looks like it's a similar issue to CLG, except they have more talent, and they just can't put it together.
Well, I mean, my hope for them is that they figure it out, right? Like, I don't think they're going to get playoffs this split, but hopefully they can at least improve, stop these 0-2 weeks, and at least for next split, work on that team cohesion. I think that's what they really need to focus on, because there were a lot of times in those Golden Guardians games where it just didn't look like the team was playing well together. People were doing different things. People were not on the same page, it appeared, at least when I was watching. But
I mean, looking at their performance last weekend, I'd agree that they don't look like they're going to be able to make playoffs. If they can make significant improvements in the next 2 weeks, they might be able to change my mind. But at the moment, they this team that looked like they're probably going to be the 5th or 6th place playoff team, along with Echo Fox or CLG, or maybe, I don't know, not Echo Fox, what am I talking about? Either with Clutch FlyQuest or CLG. And then out the gate, CLG shits the bed, Golden Guardians shits the bed, and it looks like Echo Fox, I keep saying Echo Fox instead of FlyQuest. FlyQuest and Clutch are going to be the ones that are going to make it to playoffs.
Fill those spots. Yeah, I mean, FlyQuest looks pretty decent, because it didn't feel like their wins were flukes, right? Like, yeah, they played the Optic team that was mostly the Academy. Yeah, they played Golden Guardians, right? Like, maybe that wasn't the hardest week 1, but I mean, they came out of the gate and their wins didn't look horrible. They
didn't look that bad, and they seem to have a really a team that would work well with teamwork together. You got Pobelter, you got Wild Turtle, you got Santorin.
Santorin and Wild Turtle played together before.
So did Wild Turtle and Pobelter. They played together very recently.
Exactly. I mean, I think that's a team that has a huge amount of potential. That I'm actually really excited to watch them going forward. I'm not sure I'm sold on Viper.
I'm still not sold on Viper.
I'm not sold on Viper, and I don't know how I feel about JJ. He never felt like the reason they were losing.
Well, he was literally inting kills at one point, just making misplays on Ornn. Though to be fair, they're playing Ornn support for some reason.
Well,
they really prioritize that Ornn engage. I think, did he pick it twice this weekend?
I think so.
Boy.
He picked it in the Golden Guardians, and then who else did they play? Optic. Yep, he had 2 Warren games this weekend.
Just so much.
Who's their? Oh, their academy support's Duo King. So I'm not sure.
I don't think that it's not. JJ was from their academy team last year. I don't think it's going to be worth another upgrade like that.
No, I don't know. I was just checking to see if they did, but
okay. Let's go to my.
I do think that. What?
You want to finish your thing?
Oh, I was just gonna say. I think if they can, FlyQuest can like really tighten up the support and top lane role, and I don't even think Viper's like bad per se. I'm just not sold yet, right? Like Broken Blade, I'm basically already bought in. I'm like, yeah, okay, Broken Blade can contend, right? Like Viper, I still need to see more. And then if they can like shore up that support role, that bot lane a little bit more to give Wild Turtle a little more ease, a little more of an edge, then I think that FlyQuest can really maintain that position as a contending team. That was all I was going to say.
All right, next one. First Drake. First Drake has become one of the most important things in the game, and I don't mean
100%.
the first Drake in the game. I mean the first Drake of like that type of Drake, that like the Earth, Wind, Fire.
First Infernal, Mountain, Ocean, Cloud.
Yeah. So a while back, I don't remember when this change was implemented, but they put in a change so that you get basically 150% of the old version of that Drake. So when you would get 6% health regen, or whatever, I forget exactly the wording.
It was 4 on Ocean,
now you get
and now it's 6.
Isn't it 12 now?
It's done the 3rd. It went 4, 8, 12. I think now it's 6, 9, 12.
But you get a lot. Yeah, you get a lot more now. So even on Infernal, getting the first Infernal Drake is much more important, and just as important is preventing the other team from getting it. We've seen this a lot this week, where teams were prioritizing getting a dragon around 8 or 9 minutes, just because
absolutely.
they need to pick one up.
Yeah, I mean, even if it's just like in the second Echo Fox game of Rush on Karthus, like part of that is obviously just that Karthus really likes an early Ocean Drake, but it's also we really can't give these guys an Ocean Drake, especially the Ocean Drake. Like with these buffs, with the 150%, with the general buffs to the regen. I mean, Ocean Drake is just kind of looking like just so incredibly strong, especially now that a lot of these games are sort of so early game oriented. The games are so much faster. Like being able to win your lane, being able to stay in your lane so much longer, stay in your jungle so much longer. That's a huge benefit, especially since like the meta junglers are junglers like Karthus, right? Who need that so badly.
Oh yeah, you give Karthus an Ocean Drake, and it's just like he doesn't need to care about the jungle anymore. Any AP jungler for the most part loves a good Ocean Drake to keep their mana up, so they don't have to spend all the time like waiting for their mana to come back up and having to back.
Yeah.
So I've actually had people have been saying this to me today that Ocean is worthless. I think it's the most important Drake in the game. Like
100%.
There's
Fox
nothing better than health.
Against Golden Guardians, Fox got their first Drake at 6 minutes and 16 seconds.
Dear
I mean, that's an early Drake. They prioritize that heavily.
I think they want to fight bot into it too. And it spawns at like 5 minutes now.
It does spawn at 5 now. They actually didn't fight bot. So in the replay, they just shoved the wave. Rush went over, Apollo and Hakuho went over, and they just got a 6-minute Drake. They didn't even do like a gank and a kill into it, because at that point in the game, Fox was 0-1. The only kill was Contracts getting a kill on Solo earlier. But, I mean, that game, though, I mean, Rush didn't have a lot of gank presence early, but he had a 150 gold lead just from farm at 6 minutes. He had 60 farm to the 25-30 farm of Contracts, and he actually ended that game against Contracts, I think, up like oh my god, he ended up Contracts at the end of that game had 166, Rush had 256.
How?
Because I guess he was 039, he just spent that game farming.
Which one was on? And who was on Karthus?
He was on Karthus in both games.
No. Who?
Rush.
Okay, yeah.
Contracts was on Lee Sin.
It looks like Karthus is a crazy hyper farmer right now.
Which makes sense. I mean, his gank pressure is kind of weak, right? Like, what is he going to do? He has his slow on the wall, but the team in the second game against Golden Guardians, it's Urgot top, Karthus jungle, Lucian mid, Xayah AD, support, Leona. those are, I mean, barring the Leona lane, those are all really hard lanes for Karthus to gank. None of those champions, especially in the early game, really have a way to set themselves up for that. So he just power farmed, and I mean, he had a huge bounty. He got the 6-minute Drake. He was up 40 farm at like 6-7 minutes, and I mean, it showed. He was just so far ahead that whole game, despite not having the kills.
All right. So let's look at next week's matchups.
All right, let's start Saturday. Game 1, Echo Fox TSM. What do you think?
Echo Fox TS. Why the hell is my schedule thing broken?
Do you want a link?
No, I have it. It just broke. Okay. Echo Fox versus TSM. I think TSM should win this without trying. They should be able to just have a lead
without trying, eh?
Yeah. Well, I didn't think they were gonna win without trying versus 100 Thieves.
That's fair. I'm interested to see if they run Acadian again. I don't know about Grig's wrist injury.
I don't think it's gonna be better until at least halfway through the split, maybe. I don't know.
Oh wow! Okay, I didn't realize it was that serious. Okay, so I'm excited for the Acadian Rush matchup. I think that'll be really good because when he's on Karthus, he's a hyper farmer, but like Rush and Acadian are both really good aggressive junglers, and that should be exciting to watch. I do think Broken Blade can probably deal with solo pretty easily, and I think Phoenix is going to probably get clapped by Bjergsen. But
yeah, I don't see much in Phoenix.
I think every lane. I think the only lane they're pretty even on is jungle, or the only position they're even on is jungle. And I think that only just
Rush is smarter. I think he's got better pathing and better priorities.
I think that's fair. So I do agree that Rush is better, not only because of what you said, but he's also just got experience. Like he's just been playing pro longer than Acadian.
I think they've been playing for close to the same amount of time.
But Acadian wasn't always starting.
Was he in Challenger? Is that what's up?
I don't recall. Either way, I think Rush is a better jungler, but I think top. I don't know enough about Broken Blade. I assume he's better than Solo just by the way he played this split. This first weekend. Although Solo didn't look horrible, to be honest with you. So maybe that'll be a difficult one for him, but we'll see. But I think TSM should be able to win that.
I mean, I think Bjergsen and Bang. Oh my god,
Bjergsen and Ven should be able to keep that. Yeah.
They should be able to win
keep that team alive pretty quickly.
Yeah, those are the two that I'm really hoping keep them alive. Even if Broken Blade just turns into a tank bot top lane, those two should be able to carry.
That wouldn't, I think, even hurt TSM though, because I think TSM has enough talent on that roster that even if they tank bot him top, great. That means we get a Bjergsen carry, we get a Sven carry, right? We get an Acadian carry. Most likely Bjergsen or Sven, but both of those players have shown time and time again that they excel at that role. So that wouldn't even be bad for them.
All right, so let's go to the next matchup.
What?
Next matchup, go.
C9 GGS. C9 wins that hands down.
Yeah, C9. I don't.
Unless they heavily grief that game.
Unless they decide to take out their starters and put in their academy team again.
Unless they feel bad about cutting contracts and give him a freebie.
After all this time,
if they give him the freebie. No, Golden Guardians hasn't inspired me in any way as a viewer. I don't think they have what it takes. Like, even when C9 lost, they looked solid, right? Like, they didn't get just curb stomped, right? They held their own. They just got beat. Golden Guardians looked like they were falling apart. So I think Cloud9, I don't even have a lot to say on that. I think it's just them.
Yeah, I think they'll skill match up them just like CSM and Fox. I don't think there's much to say about why they're going to lose. It's really apparent. All right, Heart of Thieves versus Team Liquid.
This I'm excited for.
I'm not ready for TL to lose to Heart of Thieves and confuse the fuck out of these leaderboards.
That's why I'm excited. Because if TL loses this one, then I don't understand League of Legends.
I just imagine who he clapping.
Then I need to find out who's writing these scripts because God bless that.
Oh.
God bless them. I think TL should have that.
Yeah, without really trying, they should definitely beat them.
I do think it's going to be an exciting bot lane to watch, though.
Yeah, bang double lift. That one's looking.
Bang double lift, but also Afromu CoreJJ, right? Obviously, CoreJJ is the world champion, but if Afromu fortifies his play and gets back to the level we're used to seeing him at, then that duo lane both of those players on each side are going to be exceptional.
Hey, they played together back in season 3, I think.
Bang and Core JJ?
No. Core JJ and Afromo.
Oh yeah.
They played against each other back in season 3, I think.
That's back in the day. We're talking 2019 League of Legends.
Oh, we didn't talk about Core JJ when we were talking about imports. Core JJ looks fine.
Though. Oh, we should have done that. Yeah.
We should have, but to be honest, there's not much to talk about. He just looks okay, and apparently his English is okay.
His English seems good.
I haven't seen him do an interview yet, so I don't know. But
I watched him stream a lot with Double Lift. But I mean, what are we gonna say about him? Same stuff we said about Crown. He seems consistent. He seems good. He wasn't making any terrible mistakes. He wasn't losing them games, right?
Nothing but a plus from Ole.
Yeah, it seems to be that.
Next one.
Next one is FlyQuest CLG. I mean, again, FlyQuest is 2-0, CLG is 0-2. CLG doesn't look like they were playing like a team. I would be really shocked if CLG. This next week seems like that Saturday is going to have a lot of potentially very important matches.
It feels one-sided, but at the same time, FlyQuest CLG seems like the highest. FlyQuest CLG and 100 Thieves TL seem like one of the highest chances
upset potentials.
Of upsets.
That's true. I mean, I would be like amped out of my mind if CLG won, just because I'd be like, "Where did this come from?" Right?
Yeah, they'd have to really put their shit together.
They would, because FlyQuest just looks so solid. They'd probably have to win that game through top, and neither Darshan or Fallen Bandit, is it, have inspired confidence in me after this first weekend. So I have to say FlyQuest. I think it's going to be FlyQuest.
Yeah, I agree. FlyQuest doesn't look like CLG has what it takes to match up with them, even like lane to lane.
Yeah.
All right, next
Clutch
one.
Gaming Optic, though. This game should be good.
This one should be interesting. I'm looking forward to this one because I think it's going to be close.
I think
even though Clutch is 2-0.
Even though Clutch is 2-0, but I really want to see that mid lane matchup. Demonte and Crown both performed incredibly well this first weekend. I want to see them go head to head. Obviously, I think Crown has an edge here, being Crown. However, I don't know how to call this game because I don't know what lineup Optic is going to use. If they use the Academy roster again, or what people are calling the Academy roster, like, I don't know. I feel like that might be a rough matchup for that team, right? Because I think that even if all the individual members of Clutch are not maybe the best in their role, there's a lot of experience on that team. And I think at a certain level, experience just sort of wins, right? But I don't know.
I mean, Optic seem like they have a really fluid roster that they can tag in and out of, especially because they have Dardoch and Meteos to swap around. But I find it really hard to call. I honestly kind of side with Optic just because I think Crown will entirely control the mid lane. I think the jungle will probably win out. I don't know about top lane, and I don't know about their bot lane, but I think through the jungle and the mid lane, Optic will win.
I agree. I think I'm going to give this one to Optic as well. So I think we agreed on everything for Saturday. But I think that's because all those games look really one-sided except Clutch and Optic. So Sunday, are you ready for Sunday? Game 1. Golden Guardians, 100 Thieves.
It's 100 Thieves. They're both 0-2, but I think 100
They're both
Thieves
0-2, but it's probably 100 Thieves.
So I do have to say, if they beat C9 the day before, I would definitely say Golden Guardians might win this. But it's 100
I mean, if they
Thieves,
can ride that wave, but I mean, C9 is going to be, I think, even a much harder matchup for them than 100 Thieves is going to be.
Yeah, I think by a long shot, but it just looks like Golden Guardians don't have it together, and I don't know if they'll have it together in time to be able to match up with 100 Thieves. And even still, I think 100 Thieves is
they just lose.
Yeah, I think they've shown that they're better than them over and over again. I think the closest matchup is Haunter and Sunday, and even that I don't feel is that close anymore.
Yeah, I don't think so either. So I think we both say 100 Thieves.
Yeah, 100 Thieves easy.
Optic Echo Fox, I'm giving it to Optic.
Yeah, I think Optic too. Echo Fox hasn't shown me anything that's special.
No, I'm giving it to Optic. I think both Dardoch and Meteos are good enough junglers to be able to answer Rush. And I think that in all the... What do you mean?
They played against him in the past.
I know, and that's why I think that. But I don't know. I think I'm gonna give it to Optic. Maybe it's just the mid pressure. Maybe it's I'm just really riding this wave of crown of a world champion, of a world champion here. But
I mean,
I think it goes down to
who does Fox really have to carry them? They don't have Huni anymore.
I don't know. That's fair.
They lost Dardoch. Dardoch's on the other team now.
Yes, you're not wrong. I mean, they have a whole new roster. It's Solo, Rush, Phoenix is not going to be the carry. Apollo.
Is it Apollo and Hakuo?
It's Apollo, Hakuo, bottom.
They're a fine bot lane, but who are?
Oh, they're never the reason you're going to lose a game.
No.
But what do we have on Optic? We've got Crown. We have Asta or Arrow bot.
If Arrow's back in, I don't think Echo Fox stands a chance.
No, if Arrow's back in, I think they get rolled. Dokla or Lorem, I think either one of those could be fine in a Huni. I think Huni's gonna have an edge.
Big and Gate look like the weakest members of this team. Maybe Dokla.
What, of Optic? Oh,
yeah.
100%.
And I guess Asta, but Asta's just like I have no idea who that guy is. I think he played this weekend too, though.
He did, and he did well.
Yeah, he was probably fine.
Right.
Next up is TL versus Clutch Gaming. Both 2-0. But do you think
both
Clutch is going to beat TL?
It's 100% Team Liquid. I mean, it's the strongest team in the league versus a team I didn't even anticipate to go 2-0.
Yeah.
Right?
I kind of I didn't think they were going to get anywhere near. They might have been on the borderline of getting in playoffs, but I didn't see them getting anywhere near 2-0 first week. Especially
I'm gonna be
TSM looking decent.
I'm gonna be interested to see the top lane matchup. That's about it. I think every other lane is gonna win pretty hard.
Yeah. Who's CG's top lane? I can't remember.
Come on, really?
I don't remember. Oh, it's Huni. It's Huni. I'm stupid. It's Huni.
We were just talking about
It's Huni versus Impact. That's right.
Yeah. And I think that they're both really great top laners who are not as good as they were, but are still. I'm just interested to see who wins that, right? I think it's probably Impact.
Yeah, but
we'll
Huni
see.
looked really strong last week. He looked like he was back in spring split Huni form.
Yeah, that's true, but I mean, it is Impact.
Until Huni decides, I'm no longer spring split Huni. Back to summer split
or
Huni,
until
right down the lane.
Impact decides top dive.
Yeah, that too. If that happens,
Top
that
dive.
That won't help. All right, TSM FlyQuest. Or do you want to keep going?
Yeah.
Okay, so TSM FlyQuest. Who's gonna win?
That one is actually, I think, hard.
FlyQuest is 2-0.
FlyQuest is 2-0. Again, it's just the first week, and they had kind of an easy week. But
they beat Golden Guardians and Optic. Optic, yes. As much as we're like Optic looks really, really good, but they're not that good. They're a little shaky because yes, these roster moves are possible, and it looks like it could help them, but it could also hurt them.
It could. I think that's going to be a pretty close match. Just on account of, I don't think either team is like extraordinarily weak in any one role, right? Like Santorin is a consistent jungler, right? Pobelter is a consistent mid. Pobelter and Bjergsen have played a lot.
They've played for the past 3 years. So I don't think they don't know each other.
They know each other. Obviously, Bjergsen tends to win, like on his team, more than Pobelter has in the past. But I don't think that Bjergsen is gonna like walk in and just clap him 10-0, right? Pobelter's gonna be fine, you know. Turtle into Sven, that might be a hard matchup. Viper into Broken Blade, I have no idea what to expect in that top matchup.
I think top and bot lane are gonna win outright for TSM, and then mid lane.
You think Broken Blade's gonna slap him?
I don't think Viper's that good. I mean,
I just don't know.
Viper was a Riven one trick who they've turned into an actual top laner, and like
the disrespect in that statement, implying Riven one tricks are not real top laners.
They're not real people. Let's get this straight.
Ow!
But like, yeah, I definitely think Broken Blade can at least match up against him, if not destroy him. Like, he demolished Huni last week. Like, come on.
That's true. Yeah, I think they outright
no, that wasn't Huni. Who did it?
No, it wasn't.
No, that was Huni. I'm looking at results. I'm not looking at the schedule.
I don't know why I agreed with you. Yeah. I think that TSM probably takes it, but I think it will be close, right?
Yeah.
I think even if Broken Blade wins, I'm not convinced that like Wild Turtle gets clapped out of lane, right? Because he's just not that kind of AD. He's not that kind of bot laner.
Unless they start tricking him into flashing forward.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
Season 3 and Season 4, Wild Turtle.
if we let him flash forward over and over, then maybe. But he seems to have grown out of that. And
yeah, he now knows when he should and shouldn't flash forward.
That's true.
I don't know. Sven's looking like a hard carry for TSM. I think he will beat the Wild Turtle bot lane, especially with the upgrade to Smoothie as a support.
I mean, he lost to Piglet.
Piglet's better than Wild Turtle mechanically, though. In lane, I would expect Piglet to be very good.
Who is Piglet's support that game?
Vulcan.
Vulcan? I don't know. Who's better, Vulcan or JJ?
JJ? I don't know. I've seen more of JJ, but I'm inclined to guess Vulcan.
That's fair. I don't know. I mean, one game Zen goes 7-1, one game Sven goes 0-2, right? Obviously, he's a player that can carry. I'm not going to doubt that. I'm not going to tell you. I mean, you
saw the whole summer split. He was trying to hard carry TSM to anything.
That's true. I mean, yeah, they probably do win that. So I guess I'll. I don't know. I'm really torn on this one. I'm gonna give it to TSM. I just don't want to. Cloud9 versus CLG. Cloud9. I'm not just saying that because I'm a Cloud9 fan. I'm saying that because
CLG looks like one of the worst teams in the league, and Cloud9 looks like second place.
CLG looks like bottom 2 for me. Competing for the bottom with Golden Guardians.
I think all of our predictions really hinge on Golden Guardians beating Cloud9. If Golden Guardians beat Cloud9, this whole league's going out the window.
February 17th, CLG plays Golden Guardians, and that's going to be a game, bro.
Oh my god, that's going to be like Echo Fox versus Dignitas? Or no, Renegades versus Dignitas. Where they all
oh my god, I'm having flashbacks already. I'm so excited for that.
Alright, I'm out of topics.
I think that concludes our first week. No, I mean, I'm excited about the week. I think day one looks
a little bit really weaker. One-sided, but the more one-sided it gets, the higher the potential is for upsets.
That's true. I'm also excited to revisit in the future how these imports do, right? Because it's difficult to gauge, I think, just off two games, right? Mm-hmm. Two best of ones does not a full picture paint. You know?
Yeah.
So I'm excited to come back in the coming weeks and really look at these guys, and then also remember Core JJ is an import.
We're gonna come back and Crown and Broken Blade are just gonna straight in. That's it.
Or
all this hype.
Or clap them. Just absolutely body them. But we'll see. So I think you're done, right?
All right. Thanks for watching the pilot episode for the Legendary League of Legends podcast.
The Legendary League of Legends podcast.
Yes. I love that. Thank you, Riff, for giving me that idea that I totally just stole from you. So if you have any constructive feedback, leave it in the comments of wherever the hell I post this. So thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching. Have a good one.